Look at the back of her leg, the way it twitches. Yeah, she has an injured back leg. It's just weak. I mean, I could keep her off it for 6 months and there's no guarantee it'll heal again. Might as well keep walking her. I mean, I'm not taking her on terribly long walks, just like 1 or 2 kilometers. So try to avoid the longer walks with her until that leg heals. But she's an old age, over 10 years old for a big dog. These dogs don't rarely live past 13. These bigger dogs. So she has 2. She'll be in March. She'll be 11. But she has like two years left, assuming she makes it to 12 or 13. Okay, yeah, I had to clear up space. These HDR videos, this is the full resolution in your face. Yeah, so I had to delete the videos. I never like to delete my content. Even though it's uploaded, I like to save a local copy somewhere on a hard drive. When I first started making vlogs back in like 2009, I saved them on hard drive, and then a lot of them got thrashed. In my backup, I backed them up to another hard drive, and then it literally like a Western Digital hard drive. These external hard drives, I had it on my carpet, and it literally just like tipped over. Of course it's gonna tip over, and all the data got erased. So that's great, because I was deleting it from my local drive, and this was before I even uploaded to YouTube in 2008. No, that was 2009. It was right before I started vlogging in the summer. And then I just didn't upload them. I have no idea why I didn't upload all my 2010 vlogs. I just didn't get around to it. I mean, in 2010, why I didn't upload the summer vlogs from 2009. So anyway. Yeah, so that's an aside. Some classic vlogs. I did upload like 1 or 2 vlogs before they got erased. They're technically still on my drive, although scrambled. The bits are scrambled. Maybe I can pay like $500 to a data recovery expert, but we'll see. Yeah, it just everything got scrambled for whatever reason when, because I deleted everything, and then I used the recovery software. It recovered the files, the video files, but they're just distorted, so they can repair the bits and pieces for all those files, and I just didn't care enough. Like, there's great content, like funny moments always in videos, and you're like, oh, I wish I saved that video or had it on video, but you move on. Think about all the people before, like 1990, whenever the home cinema, remember, you had it on your shoulder like that, and you were filming, and like a giant thing, it must have weighed like at least 10 kilograms, and you just had to hold that thing on your shoulder at all times. Like, even the people shooting the movies, the shoulder cams, I don't know if they do that, because it would shake, right, if it was on your shoulder. So maybe they just keep it on nowadays. They keep it on like a steady cam on a big platform, and then they move the camera. You've seen all the behind the videos. Oh, you're eating coyote poop? Yeah, the kid wanted to see the swamp, and I was going to show him, and his mom's like, no, we don't have time, just get out of here. I'm like, you don't have time? The kid can't enjoy a half hour at the park? Like, whatever. There it is. It's the big swamp. Swampy swamp. And there's some poison oak over there. Actually, it's right here. Oops. The pink is usually the poison oak. In the fall, when it changes color, it's in the green the rest of the seasons. And then there's actually a yellow too, but before it turns pink, I don't see any. I guess this is dead oak right next to me, or a different plant. All right, are we back to crypto? Okay, this is part 2 of the video, by the way. The first one I ran out of space. I'm like, out of space. It's like you get that message, out of space. You're like, Holy shit, is my life over? Out of space? Like, no, it's not over. You just keep going on. Like, when you make a losing trade, you think, hey, did I make this losing trade because I'm a bad trader, or did I make it because I didn't hedge properly, which is really hard unless you're used to it. You just have to find the proper ratio of hedging, because Bitcoin dominance finally went up, finally bounced after that massive alt sell-off on Friday or Saturday. And then, like I said, BNB went from 291 just a week ago all the way to 220. And then it bounced to 245 or 246, wherever it is. Yeah, hopefully OKX is back up soon. They said their Alibaba cloud servers were taking them out. Hopefully that's not BS. I actually went long on the OKB token. When Elon Musk followed the account, then he unfollowed. And I'm like, yeah, it's been trending up anyway. Gaining popularity for whatever reason, I'll just hold. And of course they go down when I'm in the middle of longing OKB and an underwater Bitcoin long on OKX and trying to buy ARG token on dips. So all this stuff happening. But thankfully we had MEXC to short PSG. Congrats if you got in around $8. Okay. So, we do have to wait for this dog to come up. She's at the bottom. I hear her. She's taking a drink down there. I don't see her. Do you see her? She's somewhere there. Here, let's go over here. There she is. There's her shadow. And there she is, coming into the frame. Yeah, and then you had like the most famous shot of someone with the old cameras on their shoulder. I'm not sure if they had a name or just video cameras. Was Steven Spielberg when he was filming Jaws. He also had George Lucas filming Star Wars. Those are pretty famous shots of them holding the cameras. Speaking of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, who's the third guy? Who's their other buddy? James Cameron. And what did he direct? You can guess in the comments. If you haven't seen Titanic, you should go see it. Hey, Bon. You can come up here. Because Bonnie, it's pretty good. Pretty good movie. I didn't like it as a kid. I'm like, oh, tits. Oh, someone drowning. Cool. But the best movie of all time? Hell no. And then I look back. I'm like, damn, this is a pretty good movie. Leonardo DiCaprio, I didn't like that. I wasn't gay as a kid, okay? It wasn't until I had my first experience when I was 18. Okay, so. You notice like the news traders and narratives traders. Speaking of news and narrative traders, we had Shibarium launch, announced the news at 8:20. Sorry, 0.00040 zeros or 5. I think 5 zeros, 8.2. But because Binance has 1,000 SHIB, I think FTX had 1,000 SHIB before Binance, but now the SHIB price is 0.0085 because you multiply by 1,000 to get 1,000 SHIB price. But OKX still had the actual before they went down last night or this morning. They actually had regular SHIB leverage. I mean, it doesn't matter. You just change the pair to the leverage pair to USDT versus the token, so you can just trade it like that. But before, you can only send like $100 orders at a time or $500 orders at a time. So everyone had to write scripts for FTX and Coinbase and Binance to long. That was a crazy pump, that 10x from SHIB in Coinbase, or what was it, like 13x from 650 all the way to like 8,600 or something. Anyway, that was October, November 2021. The bull market. Do you guys see the difference between bull and bear? Why it's important to hedge in the bear, be patient. take your shots, because everyone tries. Okay. We all went down a figure. I mean, if you went down 2 figures, if you lost 99%, comfy, come in comfy. Then dropping 2 figures, then that's sad, but it's like, even in the playing field, if you were hedged, a lot of smart traders were hedged, but the dumb bull traders went from like 8 figures, so over $10 million, down to like 2 or 3 million, whatever they're at now. So they lost close to 90%. And then they kept pushing. Like, they didn't change their ways. They didn't learn to hedge because they missed that feeling of being over 10 million. But smart traders like GCR, Tree of Alpha, Yip Trades, Crypto Naughty, they were all hedged. But it's when you don't hedge where it becomes a problem. Jai was actually hedged on his BTC USDT as well, but he still sits low 6 figures. So the news launched at, I'll just say 0.0082 because that's 1,000 SHIB, and it got sent to 0.009, so, or 91. It was a solid 10% pump, a little over 10, maybe 11%. And if you're following SHIB, I don't think the Mad Word news feed, the Mad News, had Shibarium, or a SHIB token Twitter account for whatever reason. So a lot of people actually were monitoring. If you check Crypto Naughty's Twitter, he was actually monitoring for the SHIB RPC for the testnet, and then he was able to long, I think, right before the tweet on the news, or I'm not sure. I guess it came a few minutes before, because if you look at the chart, like 30 minutes before or so, there's a spike up on SHIB. I think that was when the RPCs came in on the testnet. Did I say RPCs? I should say on the SHIB RPC test transactions. Anyway, you're not smart. If you're watching my vlog, you're not smart enough to figure that out anyway. But you expect the news and then you wait 6 months for it, however long, 4 months. SHIB was teasing Shibarium since Doge, right? In August, Doge Chain launched, and then SHIB Chain is the whole ecosystem for Bone, Leash, and SHIB. Bone and Leash are only on DEX mainly. I think they're on a couple sexes, but DEX is where the liquidity was for those. Oh, she's pooping. She's pooping. So that's that. That's the Shibarium news. So it went up and then it came down to like 8.6 again, and then it shot up to 9 and then down again. So it's like that. They fluctuate. That's why scalping's so important. And a lot of people are predicting 2x, like Art 2K said, hey, this could go 2x, Shibarium. But the SHIB's kind of hard market cap. Yeah, it can go 2x, but at least a 50% pump is reasonable. But if the market continues sideways or down, but I think my data says that Bitcoin has retraced 10 to 20% after every FOMC or Powell speech since August. So August, September, November, December, we've had 4. There wasn't FOMC in October. So, I mean, the market in terms of interest rates is basically bottom. We might see a 0.5% to a 1% raise next year in 2023, whereas we saw 4%, or what are we at, 4.25% right now. So it's definitely lower, but these stock guys, I mean, they listen to everything Powell says. He's like cautionally bearish now that we thought maybe by mid-2023 interest rates were going to start to go down. The Fed might lower interest rates to help stimulate the economy, because the numbers show we are in a recession. I'm sorry. We've had 6 consecutive months of down, negative earnings or negative GDP, and it's just the way it works. Negative GDP growth, not negative GDP. It would be pretty shitty if your country had negative GDP. That would just be you imported more than you produced, I think. Or you lent and borrowed. You borrowed more than you lent. Okay. So, I'll talk about Trump NFTs. So they were $99 each if you bought 45. And I just couldn't resist because I figured at least these would probably do 2x. Just sell the 2x, even though they would bleed out eventually like everything else. after the hype cycle is over. Because every new token launch, every new NFT has the hype cycle or pumps, and then it dumps again. Remember Goblin, where it went from like 1 ETH all the way down to like 0.2 or 0.3, then it came back to like a 8.5 ETH high right after